The sun beats down with an ancient, unrelenting force upon the mountains of Balochistan. Here, the earth tells a story of scarcity, written in a language of deep fissures and cracked, thirsty ground. It is a vast, breathtaking landscape, sculpted by millennia of wind and geological upheaval. Yet for all its rugged grandeur, it is a land that waits. It waits for the one thing more precious than any mineral hidden beneath its surface: water. Every drop that falls is a jewel, a promise of life in a place where life must fight to hold on. The wind whispers through skeletal shrubs and over barren slopes, carrying tales of a greener past and a desperate hope for a more verdant future. Look closer at this seemingly desolate tableau. Life persists with remarkable tenacity. A hardy acacia tree, its roots delving deep into the hidden recesses of the earth, stands as a testament to resilience. For the people who call this land home, this same resilience is woven into the very fabric of their culture. They understand the rhythm of the seasons, the moods of the sky, and the profound significance of a single dark cloud on the horizon. When the rains do come to Balochistan, they arrive with a dramatic, almost violent urgency. The sky, once a pale, indifferent blue, darkens to a bruised purple. The clouds gather, heavy with their precious cargo, and for a brief, glorious period, they release their bounty. Water cascades down the stony faces of the mountains, a fleeting spectacle of abundance. For a few hours, the landscape is transformed. Gullies and dry riverbeds, known locally as wadis, roar to life, becoming temporary, powerful rivers. This sudden rush of water should be a blessing, a moment of profound renewal for a land so desperately in need of it. But herein lies the great paradox, the central tragedy of this arid land. The blessing is tragically short-lived. The hard, sun-baked ground, unable to absorb the deluge, acts more like a stone slate than a sponge. The water does not seep in, it runs off. These sudden, powerful torrents gather speed and force, carrying with them the loose, precious topsoil, the very skin of the earth that nurtures life. Instead of replenishing the land, the rain becomes an agent of erosion. The consequences of this cycle are stark and unforgiving. With each passing year, the groundwater table recedes further, forcing wells to be dug deeper and deeper until they too run dry. But what if this story could be rewritten? What if we could change the narrative from one of loss to one of renewal? What if, instead of watching helplessly as the precious rainwater rushes away, we could simply ask it to stay? This is not a question of inventing a complex new technology, but rather of listening to the whispers of ancient wisdom that still echo through these mountains. The solution has been here all along, a simple, elegant, and time-tested method known as the Talab. A Talab is, in essence, a small, community-built reservoir or pond, strategically placed to capture the rushing rainwater before it has a chance to escape. It is an idea born of profound observation and a deep understanding of the land's natural contours. Imagine a village nestled at the foot of a mountain. Its elders, guided by generations of accumulated knowledge, survey the landscape. They are not looking for the flattest ground, but for the opposite. They seek out the natural depressions, the shallow basins, and the points where several small gullies converge. This is where the water naturally wants to collect. This is the perfect site for a talab. The concept is breathtakingly simple. Work with nature, not against it. By enhancing a natural feature of the land, one can create a vessel to hold the gift of the rain, allowing it to slowly, patiently seep into the earth and replenish the silent underground aquifers. The revival of the Talab is more than just an engineering project. It is a cultural reawakening. The creation of a Talab begins not with a bulldozer, but with a conversation. It starts under the shade of a resilient tree, where the village community gathers. Here the plan is discussed, and a collective decision is made. This is the Talab revival mission in its purest form. Once the elders have identified the ideal site, a natural depression with a wide catchment area, the work begins. It is a symphony of communal effort. The tools are simple and familiar: shovels, picks, and baskets. There is no roar of heavy machinery, only the rhythmic sounds of metal striking earth and the shared camaraderie of people working towards a common vital goal. The construction process is methodical and intuitive. The villagers work together to deepen and widen the natural basin, using the excavated earth to build up a strong crescent-shaped embankment on the downward slope. The costs associated with such a project are remarkably low, making it accessible to even the most resource-strapped communities. The primary investment is not financial, but human. It is the sweat equity of the community. A young woman named Fatima, working alongside her neighbors, might explain, "Every basket of soil I carry feels like a prayer for our future. We are not just digging a pond, we are planting hope for our children." The transformation that follows the construction of a talab is nothing short of miraculous, and it often begins within a single year. After the first significant rainfall, the community gathers to watch as the gullies come to life, no longer carrying away their precious topsoil, but instead directing the water into the waiting embrace of the new pond. The muddy, life-giving water fills the basin, a sight that brings profound joy and relief. This captured water is the first most visible benefit. It provides an immediate source for livestock to drink and for mixing mud and straw for construction. The most significant impact, however, is happening unseen, beneath the surface. As the water sits in the talab, it begins its slow downward journey, percolating through the soil and recharging the underground aquifer. This is the true magic of the system. Within months, villagers notice a remarkable change. Wells that had been dry for years begin to show signs of life. The water level rises, slowly but surely. A farmer who previously had to lower his bucket 20 meters might now find water at 10. With fuller wells, the land itself begins to heal. The area immediately surrounding the talab bursts forth with new life. Grasses and shrubs, their seeds dormant in the soil, spring up, creating a lush green margin that helps to stabilize the soil and prevent erosion. Farmers can now confidently plant small vegetable gardens, knowing they will have the water to see their crops through to harvest. Kitchens are filled with fresh produce, improving nutrition and family health. The testimony of the people tells the story best. Before the talab, a villager might recall, we would be lucky to grow enough wheat for 3 months. Our goats were thin. We thought of leaving. Now the same villager, standing by a small plot of thriving maize, might say with a smile, "Look, the well is full. The animals are healthy. My children can eat fresh vegetables. This small pond has given us our life back. It has allowed us to stay." While the community-led Talab is a powerful tool for localized change, the scale of the water crisis in Balochistan calls for a grander vision, one that complements these grassroots efforts with larger, more ambitious projects. This is where government and institutional support becomes crucial. By applying the same core principle, slowing and storing rainwater on a larger scale, we can create a resilient water infrastructure for the entire region. The next step up from a village talab is the construction of check dams. These are not massive valley-spanning dams, but rather a series of smaller solid structures built across larger seasonal riverbeds. Each check dam acts like a brake on the flash flood, slowing its velocity and forcing the water to pool behind it. An even more advanced technique for aggressive groundwater replenishment is the use of recharge shafts or injection wells. This method is particularly effective in areas where the topsoil is thick and impermeable, preventing natural seepage. The long-term benefits of these larger-scale interventions are immense. They create regional water security, making entire districts less vulnerable to the whims of annual rainfall. This stability fosters agricultural growth, creating jobs not only in farming, but also in the construction and maintenance of these water structures. Furthermore, by managing floodwaters in the mountains, these projects significantly reduce the risk of catastrophic flooding in downstream towns and cities. They are an investment in a sustainable future, creating a symbiotic relationship where human ingenuity supports and enhances the natural water cycle. We have journeyed through a land of stark beauty and profound challenges. We have seen the cracked earth and heard the stories of hardship born from a lack of water. But we have also witnessed the incredible power of a simple idea, rooted in ancient wisdom. We have seen how a community, working together with shovels and a shared purpose, can create a talab, a small pond that becomes a source of immense hope. From this single act, we have seen wells recharge, farms turn green, and trees take root. The contrast between the past and the possible future is striking. Imagine a village before, its people anxious, its wells dry, its young people looking towards the cities for a life elsewhere. Now, picture that same village a few years after embracing these water harvesting techniques. The air is cooler around the green verges of the talab. The sounds of children laughing have replaced the whispers of worry. There is food on the table, fodder for the animals, and a renewed connection to the land of their ancestors. This is not a fanciful dream. It is a tangible reality being built today in pockets across Balochistan, wherever a community has decided to take its future into its own hands. This transformation is powered by the people themselves. It is the story of Noor Ahmed, who now sees his grandchildren drink from the same well he used as a boy. It is the story of Fatima, who now harvests vegetables from a garden she planted with water from the Talab she helped build. Their voices join a growing chorus of hope that proves that the desert can be made to bloom. The mountains of Balochistan do not have to be a symbol of scarcity. They can be green again. They can become great living reservoirs, capturing every precious drop of rain and nurturing life from their very heart. The solution is here. It is simple, it is scalable, and it works. Therefore, this is a call to action. It is a call to the communities of Balochistan to look to the wisdom of their elders and the strength of their own hands. Start the conversation. Identify the place. Pick up the shovel. Let us all become guardians of the land, for in the simple act of saving a single drop of water, we are helping to revive a landscape and restore a future.